Good evening today. Today I want to talk about a woman who made an extraordinary decision, a decision that would transform her life, her world, and her future. She didn't wait for external circumstances to change. She didn't rely on others to tell her who she could be. No, she chose herself. But how does one come to a place where they can choose themselves? How does one break free from the patterns that hold us back, from the stories that we've been told, or the identity that we've been given? It's not easy, and it's not quick. But it's possible, and it starts with one thing: awareness. This woman, like all of us, grew up believing in the limitations placed on her. She believed in the ideas handed to her about what she was supposed to do, who she was supposed to be. Perhaps it was society, family, or even her own inner voice that told her that her worth was defined by external approval. She believed that happiness came from fitting into a mold created by others, that success was about meeting others' expectations. But one day she had an awakening. She realized something deep down. She understood that she had been living by default, playing a role that wasn't her own. The truth is, the world around us is full of noise, full of conditioning, full of beliefs that don't belong to us. And she could feel it. She felt the weight of these ideas pressing against her. She realized that the life she had been living wasn't hers to live. So she chose differently. She chose herself. In that moment, something powerful happened. She didn't just choose her desires or dreams. She chose her consciousness, the way she viewed herself and the world. She realized that she wasn't a prisoner of her past, of her circumstances, or even her own thoughts. She was free to create a new version of herself. She understood that her mind, her energy, and her emotions were not just passive elements in her life. They were powerful forces that could shape her reality. This woman learned to tune into her own thoughts and feelings, and noticed how often she had allowed them to dictate her actions. She understood that she wasn't the thoughts that came into her head or the emotions that arose in her body. She wasn't her past mistakes or the fears that had once controlled her. No, she was the one who could choose which thoughts and emotions to entertain, to embody. She learned to break the cycle. She learned to break free from the old patterns of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. Instead, she began to create new patterns, patterns rooted in love, in abundance, in self-worth, and in trust. And every time she aligned her thoughts and energy with her highest vision, she began to create that vision in her physical world. This is where the magic happens. You see, every moment we make a choice, we're stepping into a new version of ourselves. But that choice isn't always easy. It's much simpler to stay in the comfort zone of our old identity, the one we know, even if it no longer serves us. But the woman who chose herself wasn't afraid to step outside that comfort zone. She knew that she had the power to reinvent herself, not tomorrow, not next week, but in the present moment. She knew that in order to create a new future, she had to let go of the past. She had to let go of the limitations, the guilt, the fears, and the stories that were keeping her stuck. She chose to rise above them, to transcend them, and so she did. And with every new thought, with every new choice, she rewrote her reality. She created a life of purpose, of fulfillment, and of deep, unshakable confidence. The world around her started to mirror the transformation within her. She didn't need to wait for permission from anyone. She knew that she was the creator of her life. The woman who chose herself was powerful, not because she had no fears, but because she learned to embrace them. She didn't run from her challenges. She faced them head on with the understanding that every obstacle was a stepping stone to her growth. She wasn't bound by the past, by her conditioning, or by anyone's judgment. Today, I invite each of you to ask, are you ready to choose yourself? Are you ready to step into your power, to break free from the limiting beliefs that hold you back, and to create a life that is aligned with your highest truth? It starts in this moment with one choice, and that choice has the power to shape your entire future. So remember this: you are not defined by your past, your circumstances, or the stories others tell about you. You are the woman who chooses herself. And in doing so, you become the creator of your destiny. Thank you. This speech is about self-empowerment, focusing on the power of consciousness and transformation. It encourages the audience to rise above limitations and take control of their own story. Empowerment is the foundation of personal transformation. It is the process through which individuals recognize their inherent ability to shape their own lives and realize their full potential. Empowerment begins with understanding that each person has the capacity to make choices that directly impact their future, their circumstances, and their well-being. It involves a shift from the idea of being a passive participant in life to becoming an active creator of one's reality. This shift requires a deep understanding of one's inner strength and the realization that no external force has the ultimate control over one's destiny. At the heart of empowerment is the belief that individuals have the right and ability to take charge of their lives. This belief isn't about arrogance or dominance, but about reclaiming personal responsibility and recognizing that the power to change lies within. Empowerment comes from within, from making conscious decisions that align with one's true desires, values, and goals. It's about breaking free from the limitations that society, family, or past experiences may have placed upon us and choosing to redefine what is possible. When a person feels empowered, they begin to trust their instincts, their judgment, and their intuition. They no longer rely on external validation or permission to move forward. Instead, they look within, and their actions are guided by a strong sense of self-awareness and self-confidence. Empowerment is also about embracing the responsibility that comes with having this power. The responsibility to make decisions that reflect the highest good, to act with integrity, and to take ownership of the consequences of those actions. However, empowerment is not always an easy path. It often requires overcoming deep-seated fears, insecurities, and self-doubt. It involves stepping outside of comfort zones, facing challenges head-on, and growing through adversity. But as individuals embrace their empowerment, they begin to realize that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The more one steps into their personal power, the stronger and more resilient they become. Consciousness is the lens through which we perceive and interact with the world around us. It encompasses everything from our awareness of our environment to the internal narratives that shape our thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Our level of consciousness determines how we experience life, whether we react impulsively to challenges or whether we respond with mindfulness, clarity, and intention. At its core, consciousness is about being awake and aware, both of the external world and the inner world of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The power of consciousness lies in its ability to influence how we interpret and respond to every situation. Most of us live much of our lives on autopilot, governed by habitual thoughts and conditioned reactions. However, when we begin to awaken to our consciousness, we realize that we have the ability to step outside these automatic patterns. This awareness allows us to choose how we want to think, feel, and act in any given moment. Rather than being ruled by fear, stress, or old programming, we can consciously create new ways of thinking and being. Increasing consciousness involves moving beyond the surface level of life and delving into deeper layers of awareness. It's about recognizing the influence of our beliefs and how they shape our reality. When we become more conscious, we are no longer simply reacting to life's events, but are able to observe our reactions with clarity and choose a more empowered response. This heightened awareness allows us to break free from limiting thought patterns and create space for growth, healing, and transformation. The practice of cultivating consciousness often involves mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection. These tools help us observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating the necessary distance between stimulus and reaction. In doing so, we can see ourselves more clearly and make decisions that are in alignment with our true selves, rather than those based on fear or unconscious programming. Transformation is the process of profound change that occurs when we move from one state of being to another. It's a journey of personal evolution that touches every aspect of our lives, our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. Transformation is not simply about external change, but an internal shift in the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It begins with a deep recognition that our current reality, shaped by old patterns and limited beliefs, is no longer serving us. When we acknowledge that we have outgrown a certain way of being, we can begin the process of reinventing ourselves. At the heart of transformation is the willingness to let go of the past. This includes releasing outdated beliefs, old habits, and limiting identities that no longer align with who we want to become. Often, these outdated patterns are deeply ingrained and have been with us for years, even decades. For letting go requires both courage and vulnerability, as it involves stepping into the unknown and trusting that something better is on the horizon. This willingness to release the old is what creates space for new possibilities to emerge. The transformation process also involves a shift in perspective, seeing life through a different lens. This new perspective is one of possibility and empowerment. As we grow and evolve, we begin to realize that we are not victims of circumstance, but creators of our reality. We understand that every thought we think and every emotion we feel is shaping our future. Transformation comes when we decide to take ownership of our lives, to align our actions with our higher purpose, and to embrace the power within us to create change. The path of transformation is not linear. It involves setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt, but with each obstacle, we grow stronger, more resilient, and more connected to our true essence. True transformation requires consistency and patience, but the rewards are immense. As we evolve, we begin to experience greater joy, fulfillment, and alignment with our highest potential. Self-worth is the deep, intrinsic value we place on ourselves, recognizing that we are worthy of love, respect, and success simply because we exist. It is not determined by external achievements, approval from others, or societal standards, but by an internal understanding that we have inherent value. Self-worth is the foundation upon which we build confidence, make choices, and establish boundaries. When we possess a healthy sense of self-worth, we are not dependent on external validation to define our worth. Instead, we understand that we are enough as we are, regardless of circumstances. And often, our sense of self-worth is shaped by our upbringing, societal conditioning, or past experiences. These influences can lead us to believe that our value is contingent upon meeting certain expectations or fulfilling particular roles. We may tie our self-worth to things like appearance, accomplishments, or the approval of others. However, true self-worth comes from within. It is the recognition that we are inherently deserving of love, kindness, and success simply by being human. Building and maintaining self-worth requires self-awareness and self-compassion. It involves acknowledging our strengths and achievements while also accepting our imperfections and mistakes. It's about treating ourselves with the same love and respect that we would extend to others. When we value ourselves, we set healthier boundaries, make choices that align with our true desires, and step into our power with confidence. This also means allowing ourselves to fail and learn without losing sight of our value. Self-worth is not about perfection, but about embracing our wholeness and understanding that we are always enough. When we cultivate self-worth, we stop seeking validation from others and start looking within. This shift allows us to live authentically, free from the need to prove our worth. Our decisions become aligned with our inner truth, and we attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that reflect our true value. Beliefs are the lenses through which we interpret the world and ourselves. They are the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, what is possible, and how the world works. Beliefs shape our reality because they govern how we think, act, and respond to every situation we encounter. Most of our beliefs are formed early in life, influenced by family, culture, and society. These beliefs can either empower us or limit us, often without our conscious awareness. When we hold empowering beliefs, we are able to approach life with confidence and resilience. However, limiting beliefs create barriers that prevent us from reaching our full potential and experiencing the life we truly desire. The process of transforming our lives begins with examining the beliefs that govern our actions. Many of us carry limiting beliefs that have been handed down to us over time. Beliefs about our worth, abilities, or what we are capable of achieving. These beliefs may have once served as a way to keep us safe or help us navigate challenges, but as we grow, they can hold us back from evolving. The first step in shifting these beliefs is becoming aware of them. Often we don't realize how deeply ingrained they are until we pause and reflect on the patterns in our lives. Once we identify these limiting beliefs, we can begin to challenge their validity. Changing our beliefs requires effort and intentionality. It involves replacing old, limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones that support the person we want to become. This process can be uncomfortable, as it often requires us to step outside our comfort zones and challenge long-held assumptions about ourselves. But with time and practice, we can begin to rewire our minds and reframe the stories we tell ourselves. The key to transforming our beliefs is repetition. Consistently choosing to believe something different, even when our old beliefs try to resurface. As we shift our beliefs, we also shift our reality. When we believe in our own potential, when we believe that we are worthy of success, love, and happiness, we begin to see the opportunities and possibilities that were always present but previously unnoticed. Our beliefs shape how we show up in the world, and when they are aligned with our highest aspirations, they create a powerful foundation for growth and fulfillment. Freedom is the state of being unburdened by limitations, restrictions, or fears, allowing us to express our true selves and live in alignment with our deepest desires. It is not just the absence of external constraints, but the ability to act in accordance with our inner truth without being influenced by the judgments of others, past experiences, or societal expectations. True freedom comes when we no longer feel bound by the roles, beliefs, and identities that have been imposed upon us. It is the liberation that arises from the realization that we are the creators of our lives, and that we have the power to choose how we respond to every situation. Often we associate freedom with external circumstances, being free from a job, a relationship, or a particular environment. While these external forms of freedom are important, true freedom lies within. It's the internal freedom to think for ourselves, to make choices that reflect our values, and to live authentically. This inner freedom requires a deep understanding of who we are and what we truly want, separate from the expectations placed on us by others. It involves letting go of the fear of judgment, the need for approval, and the belief that our worth is tied to external achievements. Freedom is also about breaking free from old patterns and conditioning that have kept us stuck in a cycle of fear, limitation, and self-doubt. When we let go of these outdated beliefs and habits, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. This process requires courage, as it often means stepping into the unknown and confronting the fears that have held us captive. But in doing so, we open ourselves up to new experiences, growth, and personal transformation. Living in freedom is about trusting ourselves and the path we are on, even when it is uncertain or unconventional. It's about being willing to break away from the crowd, to choose our own direction, and to embrace the adventure of life without fear of failure. True freedom comes when we are no longer constrained by our past or our fears, but when we choose to create a future that reflects our highest potential. Awareness is the first step in any process of growth and transformation. It is the ability to observe and recognize the thoughts, emotions, and patterns that shape our behavior and decisions. Without awareness, we are often on autopilot, reacting to life circumstances based on past experiences and conditioned responses. We may find ourselves stuck in cycles of negative thinking, unhealthy habits, or self-limiting beliefs without even realizing it. Awareness allows us to step back and witness our lives from a place of objectivity, creating the necessary space for conscious choice and change. When we become more aware of our inner world, we begin to understand the root causes of our actions. We realize that many of our beliefs, fears, and habits were formed in response to external influences. Our upbringing, society, and past experiences. By becoming aware of these influences, we can begin to discern whether they still serve us or if they are holding us back. Awareness helps us distinguish between what we have been conditioned to believe and what we truly believe deep down. It allows us to challenge outdated patterns and step into our authentic power. Awareness is also about recognizing the present moment. So often we are caught up in thoughts about the past or the future, leaving us disconnected from the richness of the present. When we become present and aware, we can fully experience the beauty and opportunity of the moment. We stop dwelling on what has already happened or worrying about what might happen, and instead we ground ourselves in the now. This presence gives us the clarity to make better choices, to act with intention, and to respond to challenges with calm and wisdom. The practice of increasing awareness involves mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection. These tools help us develop the ability to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. As we cultivate greater awareness, We begin to see life more clearly and gain the insight needed to navigate it with purpose and confidence. With heightened awareness, we unlock the potential to create lasting change in our lives and step into a future that is aligned with our true desires. Mindset is the foundation upon which all growth and achievement are built. It is the lens through which we view the world and our place in it, shaping how we respond to challenges, opportunities, and everyday situations. A person's mindset determines whether they approach life with a sense of possibility, or it influences whether they see obstacles as insurmountable barriers or as opportunities for growth and learning. Essentially, mindset governs the way we interpret experiences, make decisions, and shape our reality. A growth mindset, for example, is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Those with a growth mindset embrace challenges, understand that failure is part of the learning process, and continually seek opportunities to improve. They do not see their current situation as permanent, but as part of an evolving journey. This mindset fuels resilience and creativity, allowing individuals to push through adversity and keep moving forward despite setbacks. On the other hand, a fixed mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence are static and unchangeable. Those with a fixed mindset often avoid challenges, fear failure, and may feel defeated when things don't go as planned. They see their limitations as permanent and may believe that success is a result of inherent talent rather than effort or growth. This mindset can create a sense of stagnation, limiting one's potential and preventing them from reaching their goals. Changing our mindset requires conscious effort and self-awareness. It involves recognizing the beliefs that hold us back and actively choosing to replace them with beliefs that empower us. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and possibility. By adopting a mindset that is open to growth, change, and new experiences, we unlock our potential to achieve greatness. A positive and empowering mindset doesn't just change the way we think, it transforms the way we live. Choices are the powerful moments in life where we decide the direction we will take, shaping our future with every decision we make. Each choice, no matter how small, carries the potential to create a ripple effect that can change the course of our lives. We often underestimate the power of our choices, thinking that they are insignificant or predetermined by circumstances, but the truth is that every choice is an opportunity to step into a new version of ourselves. The choices we make today are the foundation of the person we will become tomorrow. At the core of every choice is the ability to exercise our free will. Our freedom lies in our ability to choose how we will respond to any given situation, regardless of the circumstances around us. This freedom comes with great responsibility. It means that we are not victims of our environment or our past, but active participants in the creation of our lives. When we become aware of this power, we realize that we are not bound by the choices of others, nor are we limited by the choices we've made in the past. We can always make a new choice, a choice that aligns with who we are and who we are becoming. The quality of our choices is deeply influenced by our mindset, beliefs, and level of awareness. When we are clear about what we truly want, when we know our values and priorities, the choices we make become more aligned with our highest potential. On the other hand, when we are unclear, afraid, or disconnected from our true selves, our choices can be driven by fear, habit, or external pressures. In these moments, we may make choices that lead us further from our goals and deeper into patterns of limitation. However, with each new moment, we have the power to choose differently, to redirect our course and move in alignment with our authentic desires. Every choice is an opportunity for growth. By taking ownership of our choices, we take ownership of our lives. The more conscious and intentional we become in our decision-making, the more we step into our power and design a life that reflects our true potential. Each choice we make shapes our reality, and with each new choice, we are creating the future we desire. Reinvention is the act of transforming ourselves, shedding the old and embracing the new, stepping into a version of ourselves that reflects our true desires and potential. It is the process of breaking free from the limitations of our past and creating a future that is entirely in alignment with our authentic self. Reinvention isn't just about making external changes, such as changing careers or moving to a new location. It's about a deep internal shift that changes the way we think, feel, and live. It is a conscious decision to no longer be defined by previous identities, mistakes, or the roles that society may have assigned to us. The journey of reinvention begins with a willingness to let go of the past. This can be one of the most challenging steps, as it often involves confronting old beliefs, patterns, and fears that have shaped us for years. But when we recognize that we are not defined by our past experiences, we open the door to new possibilities. Reinvention requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, to embrace the unknown, and to trust that we have the ability to create something new. It's about being brave enough to rewrite the story of our lives and to pursue what truly excites and fulfills us. Reinvention is also about reclaiming our power and responsibility. It's a recognition that we are the architects of our own lives and that we have the ability to shape our destiny. In order to reinvent ourselves, we must challenge the beliefs and limitations that hold us back. This often requires a shift in mindset, from one of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and possibility. As we step into this new mindset, we begin to see opportunities where we once saw obstacles, and we approach life with a renewed sense of purpose and excitement. Reinvention is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. It is the constant evolution of who we are and who we are becoming. With each step forward, we become more aligned with our true essence, shedding the old layers that no longer serve us and embracing the new opportunities that life presents. Reinvention allows us to create a life that is not bound by the past, but inspired by the future we are ready to create.